Hi, and welcome to this first lesson in my series on how to program in Python. Okay, so today we're going to talk about just creating a basic program in Python, and I look forward to you watching all the videos in this series and learning more about Python. Okay. I've got a little activity for you to start with. All right, so basically the way this is going to work is I'm going to ask you this question, then I want you to pause the video for a minute or two, have a go at the activity, and then unpause once you finish the activity. Okay, so the question I have for you is how do you create a cup of tea, or how would you more specifically, I want you to think about how would you write a set of instructions to teach an alien or a robot, something that had never made a cup of tea before. What kind of instructions would you give them to help them make a cup of tea? All right, so I'm going to give you a minute when I say go for you to have a think about this. Okay, so go. All right, so hopefully you've had a thought about how you might make a cup of tea. All right, this is what I came up with. You may agree or disagree. All right, there's lots of variation on how to make a cup of tea, but hopefully what we've got here is a series of instructions. Okay, so the first instruction I had was put water in the kettle. The second instruction I said was to turn the kettle on, of course. While the kettle is boiling, then you're going to put the tea bag in the cup. Okay, then I've got a question, which is, has the kettle boiled? If it has, then go to instruction 5. If it hasn't, go back to instruction 4. Okay, so then once the kettle's boiled, I'm going to add that boiled water to the cup. I'm then going to wait 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, I'm going to take the tea bag out of the cup. I'm going to add some milk and sugar, and then I am going to serve. Okay, so that was my sequence of instructions to create a cup of tea. Now, I wonder if any of you can spot any problems that a robot or an alien might have with this sequence of instructions to create a cup of tea. So say I had a robot that I wanted to make tea. If I put these instructions in there, do you think it would be able to make a cup of tea? Okay, can you think about any problems? Again, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, so pause the video for 30 seconds, just to think if you could predict what problems a robot might have. Okay, go. Alright, so hopefully you pause for 30 seconds. Okay, I can see some issues with this. Okay, issue number 1 for me, alright, is does the robot know what a kettle is? Okay, does it know how to turn on the kettle? How would it know what a tea bag is? Okay, how would it be able to tell whether it boiled or not? Okay, does it know what a cup is? Okay, we've got an instruction that says wait 3 to 4 minutes. Well, a robot's going to go, well, which one? Should we wait 3 minutes or 4 minutes? Okay, so I can see lots and lots of issues here. Okay, we've got words that I imagine a robot is not going to understand, so we've got to teach them to it. Okay, and we've got some ambiguity. We've got some issues around, where I've said wait 3 to 4 minutes, and you and I know that we're going to look at the color of our cup of tea and make that decision. Is a robot going to be able to do that? Okay, so we've got some ambiguity. So for me, there are lots and lots of issues with this program, and unfortunately I think our robot is going to struggle a little bit with creating a cup of tea using these instructions. Okay, but programming a computer is just like trying to teach a robot to make a cup of tea. Okay, and what you need to understand is that a programming language, just like trying to teach that robot how to make a cup of tea, is going to have keywords. All right, there's going to be a dictionary of words in there. Sorry, I moved too fast. There's going to be a dictionary of words in there that our programming language understands. Okay, and that's the same with our robot. Okay, so the question is, does our robot understand water? Does it understand kettle? Does it understand tea bag? Okay, and so our robot would need to have a dictionary of words that it understands. Okay, and that's the same with our programming language. Okay, our programming language has a dictionary of words that it understands. All right, and if you try and use words that are not in that dictionary, okay, your computer program is not going to understand what you're trying to write. Okay, so you can only use words that are in that dictionary. Now, there is another thing that's really, really important about programming a programming language that is also similar to kind of what we do in English. Okay, so have a look at this sentence here. Does it make sense to you? Okay, and hopefully you all can see that this sentence doesn't make sense. Okay, it's in the wrong order. I have not followed the rules of syntax. Okay, and so just like the English language, there are a series of rules in the English language that are called syntax. They tell us how to put together sentences. Okay, and in a programming language we have exactly the same thing. All right, we have a series of rules that tell us what things are correct and what things are not. Okay, and that's called the syntax. And it's really important that we obey that syntax, because just like I've not obeyed the syntax in this sentence, it doesn't make any sense to you. Okay, if you don't obey the syntax in a programming language, the computer is not going to understand what you are trying to do and what you're trying to write. Okay, we're going to have a go at writing our first program, and to do that I'm just going to move into my programming window. So I'm going to disappear for a little bit and you're going to hopefully see my programming window over here. Okay, so this is a program called Mu. You can download this. There are alternatives. It's entirely up to you what you use for your programming window. Okay, and I'm going to write my first Python program that you should be able to see on the screen. Okay, so we talked about that dictionary of that every programming language has. Okay, and one of the words in the dictionary, you're going to have to bear with me on this. Okay, you're just going to have to believe me. One of the words in that dictionary is print. Okay, so I'm going to start with the print command. All right, so you can see I've written the print command here. Now, again, we talked about a programming language having a dictionary and a syntax. Okay, so the syntax when you use the print command is that once you write print, you're then going to have an open bracket and a closed bracket. Okay, now I'm going to put something inside there, inside those open brackets and the closed brackets. I did the open bracket and the closed bracket at the same time, because otherwise I forget to close the brackets. All right, you don't have to do it at the same time if you don't want to. Okay, so that's part of the syntax. Now the next part of the syntax is what I want to print needs to go in quotes. Again, that is one of the rules. Okay, so what we want to print, what we want to write, all right, is called a string, and it's a string of characters. And if we want to print a string, we need to put it in quotes. And again, that's one of the rules. So I'm going to put in quotes, and you need to write this program. This is always the first program you write in any language. Okay, is hello world. All right, so hopefully you can see that I've written print hello world, and I've got my keyword, the word from the dictionary, and then I've obeyed the syntax by putting the brackets and the quotes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that. So I have to save it before I can run it. All right, now I'm just going to give my program any name I want. So I just call it hello world. I'll click save, and then I'll click run, and down here you can see that the program is run and it's just printed hello world. Okay, now what I want you to experiment with, and I'll just show you, is there are other things in the dictionary that obviously Python knows how to do. Okay, so for example, we can go print, all right, and we can put some numbers in. So we go 2 plus 2, all right, because our Python program knows what to do when you write a plus. Okay, so if we run the program again, okay, so this time it should print hello world and the result of 2 plus 2. Okay, and there you go. So you can see that our Python language knows what plus is. Okay, and we can do another one. I want you to experiment with some other ones. Okay, so we can go print, okay, and we can do 2 divided by 2. All right, and there's the divide sign. We don't have the divide sign that you use in maths on the computer keyboard, so we use that /. Okay, so now what we should see is hello world, the result of 2 plus 2, and the result of 2 divided by 2. Okay, so again, if we run our program, there you go, we get our answer. Okay, so there are other ones we can experiment with, and I want you to experiment with these. We can try, let's see what happens if we do this one. I'm not going to tell you what it does this time, and you can see if you can work out what it does. Okay, and so if we stop and we run that one, there you go. All right, so hopefully you can work out what that one does. Let's do some more. Let's have a go at let's see what happens if we do this one. Now let's see if this works. Let's give it a go. Okay, so we'll stop and run. Okay, that didn't quite do what I was expecting, so maybe that one doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work as you expect. Okay, let's try this one, all right, and see if you can work out what this one does. Again, let's see if this one does what I'm expecting. Yeah, that did a lot more like I was expecting. We can change the numbers in there because I want you to experiment with this and just see if you can work out what's going on. So we get so we've got hello world, we've got 4, we've got 1, we've got 6, and we've got 2. So I wonder if you can work out what the difference is between a single slash and a double slash. All right, and I've got one more I want to show you. Again, I want to see if you can work out what it does, which is this one. Okay, and I'm going to do A again, but this time I'm going to put this percentage sign in. All right, and so if we stop and run that now, there we go. So that's another interesting one. So basically, I want you to in your first lesson is just experiment with the print command and those different mathematical functions that Python understands. Okay, so that's video number 1. Thanks very much for watching. Okay, please keep an eye out for the next one in the series, which is going to be about variables and different types of data. Thanks for watching.